hangover from the letters of Samnail Evergrace. What do you think it's like to be chosen, sister? To be handpicked by a god? To have the divine reach down with a fingertip and bop, suddenly make you more than mortal, revered by everyone you come across? I asked her. Sarah Kali. The fire of truth and justice. The oldest living chosen, and if lore keepers to be believed, the oldest ever. I was on liberty, in my cups, and I saw her by the fire. And for a moment, she seemed like just another soldier to share a drink with. Before I knew it, I was tripping over my words, asking this living saint, "Hey, what's it like?" She looked at me just long enough for me to feel like I was in a heap of trouble. And then grabbed my collar, and we marched straight out of camp into the wild. No fear of never, deep into the steppe. Seeing her, it was like watching a sword. Lean, steady, bright as silver. Step after step. Until we came to a mountain. "Hold it up," she said. Her command made me jump, and before I knew it, I had my back up against the foot of that mountain, heels dug, pressing like I was going to put the whole thing on my back. She said, "Imagine that you can hold the mountain up. That you have the strength to keep it from falling." I closed my eyes. I was sober now. I tried to imagine the power of a god in me. She stepped closer and said, "Imagine that if you ever let up, you know it will fall. And one day, the weight of it will kill you." I was deep in the dream when she pulled me off the mountain. We made the long walk back in the dawn light. I keep thinking about that mountain, sister. A wrong step, a missed breath. Knowing if, when I were to falter, nothing could ever put it right again. And if that's what it's like to be chosen, sister, what is it like to be broken? So we are still in Sarpot. The commander has asked us to see what other opportunities are available. And Samnail went out and found a couple of choice missions ripe for the taking. Who would like to read the first one?
I can do it.
I can do it.
Devin, you please.
Devin, do you want to read the first one?
So this one is called Unearth, in parentheses religious, as the type of mission. And it says, now that they've had more time to survey the region, the Legion spotted a unique opportunity, an old shrine, mostly collapsed, that Sarpot locals say dates back to the old empire. What's more, never have been seen digging in the area. If they're searching for something, then it might be something worth the Legion's time as well. And the reward is -1 time, I don't know if that's a reward, +2 experience for all survivors. And the penalty. Oh, is it? Is his time count forward?
Yeah.
Is that the bad thing?
Mm-hmm.
So -1 time is good. Okay, and then the penalty is -1 morale and +1 pressure. The 2 XP for survivors thing concerns me. That makes me think it's going to be really bad.
Maybe we'll find out. Gavin, do you want to read the second mission?
Sure. Escort. Praise the Lord of Song! The caravan's cargo is ready, and what's more, Kagashi's employer has arranged for armed escort back to the capital. But Kagashi fears that by the time the escort gets here, it'll be too late. The Trail Boss pleads for a Legion squad to escort the caravan down the road from Sarpat to the Well of Icario. If they can protect the caravan from brigands until they rendezvous with their official escort, it'll be well worth their while.
Commander, what is our primary mission and what is our secondary mission?
Primary is Unearth, the religious mission, and our secondary is going to be the escort mission.
Okay. So, the commander can ask the GM questions based on current intel. How much intel do we have?
3 of those bad boys. But we won't have that for long.
Do you only generate intel from missions, or are there other ways to get it?
Almost entirely get it from missions, but you could probably break that with a long-term project.
We can break anything with a long-term project.
Can't break me.
Oh, damn, that's true. Brendan's strong as hell.
Yeah. You can't see it, but I'm flexing.
Writes down on goals list.
Okay, so last time, I'm going to do this in descending order, starting from the 3 or more intel box. If you'd like to follow along with me on page 123 of your hymnal. Last time, yeah, please, everybody open up.
Everyone, bow your heads and pretend to be serious.
Yeah. Now it's time to listen to...
I'm reading a comic book secretly in my book.
Nice. Now an old lady is going to sing a song and then raise her hands and expect you to repeat. Anyway, so starting with the 3 or more intel. Last time I asked what news about the Cinder King. This time, given our interest in special missions, I'm going to ask what special missions have we heard of at a location ahead. And looking at the map, I've been thinking I've been thinking about this a little bit. I think that we're going to want to go east for the benefit of the listener. From Sarpat, we could basically go north or east, and I'm thinking east right now at least, which would be the Well of Icario, already mentioned. So Brendan, what special missions might we have available to us in the Well of Icario?
Interesting. Here's what you have heard. The broken Whisper and Ruin, whose forces you just fought at the estate.
Mm-hmm.
They are beginning their sweep across the continent. There are other broken out there in the world, and they have not led a tremendous army across the land in the same way that they have not sought to conquer the entirety of the land, to engulf it in darkness as threatens now. But they have arrived and they have caused tremendous damage in places, and some of their forces are left behind. You have heard that some other Broken's powerful minion is still plaguing the Well of Icario to the east.
Cool. Good to know. Okay. So 2 or more intel. This one I'm less sold on. I'm going to read them out because it will give me time to think. Which infamous or lieutenant might we face on this mission? Could be a helpful thing. What's the main weakness of the undead's position on this mission? Also very helpful. Is this related to a previous mission? If so, how? Which way are the Broken moving? I think we kind of got that already, so Brendan may have already given us a 2 for 1. Thanks, Brendan. What challenges or... I know, it's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just teasing. What challenges or problems are inherent... Yeah. What challenges or problems are inherent in a specific location ahead? And what is a weakness of an infamous we've seen previously? So I'm sort of trying to decide... This is for the group. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Between what challenges or problems are inherent in a specific location ahead as a way of asking about the north location. And It'd give us a little bit of information since I just got some information about the East, or asking about what the main weakness of the undead's position on this mission might be, especially because we're a little bit worried that it might be tough, and we only have 2 specialists coming on this mission.
What's the one about knowing what kind of undead are around?
I'm not sure which one you mean.
There was one that's like if there's an infamous or...
Oh,
lieutenant.
sure. Which infamous or lieutenant might we face on this mission?
Yeah, because I don't think we've faced any, and like if anything, a lieutenant or an infamous would be supervising this dig.
Interesting.
So knowing which one, or knowing that we won't face a lieutenant or infamous, would be pretty useful information.
Yeah, especially if, like, we don't know why they're digging. If someone is commanding them to do that, it would be nice to know who and what and maybe why.
Yeah.
And, like, what's their deal?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that there probably is a lieutenant here, if there is this, like, concerted effort to do a thing.
Sure. I'm game to ask this question. Okay, then, Brendan, which infamous or lieutenant might we face on this mission?
The witch that you encountered in Loggerhead?
Loggerhead?
Yeah.
Fuck. Lance has to go on this mission
What's
now.
her name? Do we have her name, or do we have some sort of, like, Legion nickname for her?
That's a good question. I want to say...
I bet
What is
Lance has
Lance's
a nickname.
My girlfriend.
Oh, I don't know.
Lance's lady.
She doesn't kiss and tell.
She's like less. Her face is face claim is less for Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes.
Right? Okay, that doesn't help me at all.
Regardless, that idol conducted, as far as Whisper is concerned, a successful operation in Loggerhead, and is overseeing something new here.
Cool. Okay. So then, if you hold one or more intel, I could also ask these other questions. What's useful to bring on this mission? Who's invested in this mission? What's a challenge we might face on this mission? What Broken's troops do we expect to face on these missions? What resources or benefits might we find at a specific location ahead? So that wouldn't be about this specific mission, it'd be about a location ahead. What might be a weakness of an elite we have encountered? What might be a craving or instinct of an elite we have encountered?
Sorry, really
So
quick. You find out that this idol is overseeing the operations at this dig site. How do you find that out?
Is that a question for me specifically, or anybody can answer?
Anyone can answer. It doesn't have to be like you find out because you have 2 or more intel. But what does the camera paint that as? Is there like a scout? Is there a rumor?
I'm wondering.
What if...
Go ahead, Nevin.
Oh. What if Lance dreamed of her and then went to go ask the Eyes of Smoke guy about the future?
What? I'm sorry. What if what dreamed of her? Lance. I thought you said plants. And I was
What
like,
if plants?
What if plants dreamed? Yeah,
It's funny
absolutely.
to think about things.
Yeah, Lance absolutely has an ominous dream about her. And okay, back to you, Commander.
Yeah. So the one that I've usually asked for this one is what's useful to bring on this mission, and I'm leaning towards that again, unless somebody objects.
The one about a weakness might be good too, though.
Or I think this is the one where you could ask like future location, like what are we gonna find?
Well, so I don't think we're gonna fight the lady. I mean, I don't know.
No. What are we gonna find in a future location?
No. I know.
Okay.
I was more to Devin's bit about the weakness, but like, if we were gonna ask about the loggerhead lady, if you like the log woman, I would want to ask like what might be a craving or instinct of an elite, but I don't think she counts as an elite, is she? She's a step above an elite.
Also, we know what she does.
Well, she knows what.
Yeah.
We know what she does to Lance.
Well, her instinct is to drain people.
Is it?
That's what she tried to do to Lance.
Yeah, that's what we've seen her do to Lance. She also may have been the one who hexed all those people. We don't know exactly, but yeah, elites are the tier 2 enemies.
Right. So we wouldn't actually get to ask about her in terms of weaknesses.
She's some sort of infamous of some kind.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah. So from your encounter with her at Loggerhead, you could surmise based on her threat that she was a lieutenant at that time. She is now an infamous.
Interesting. Okay. We don't need to ask about what Broken's troops do we expect to face on these missions. I could ask about resources, but I think it'd be more helpful to get a sense of what's actually going to be at this mission. Because if we look, I get one more question after this, right? If we're going to metagame it a little bit. For the 0 or more intel, we get what's the highest threat we can expect on these missions. We don't need to ask that. How much travel should we expect for the missions? We don't need to ask that. We know where we're going. What would be a useful item to bring on this mission? So I could ask this there instead of what's useful to bring on this mission. What are 2 approaches we could use here on the mission? Also could be helpful. Which squad distrusts or don't respect the leadership? Don't really need to ask that. And how does our chosen feel about the mission? So let me do this. Let me do the what resources or benefits might we find at a specific location ahead, and then the next one I'll ask about the item to use. So I wanted to ask about the long road, and I wanted to ask what resources or benefits might we find at a specific location ahead.
At the long road, huh?
That's what we call it.
Couldn't tell you. The long road is a difficult path. That's true for you, but it will also be true for the Never. There are probably threats, environmental and otherwise, that you'll have to discover there.
Mm-hmm.
But assuming you're able to make good time there, the Never will not have an easy time chasing after you.
Okay, so the benefit or resource is just that the Never will be less of a threat.
Yeah, I believe that's fair to say.
Okay. Good to know. And then for my final 0 or more intel question, what would be a useful item to bring on this mission?
Almost certainly the wrecking kit. I think that the reports that you have of this tomb, which has probably been pretty long abandoned before the Never started swarming around it, and the Never themselves seem to be trying furiously to dig into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
If you had wrecking kit materials that allowed you to make paths where there were none or where they have collapsed, that would probably be pretty useful.
Okay. Cool. All done.
Marshall, tell us who's going on these missions.
So I'm sending Lance and Aoife with the Grinning Ravens on the primary mission. And Kaio, Nabane, and Lark will be leading the Star Vipers on the secondary mission.
Okay. So, primary mission. Who's everyone going to play?
I will be playing Aoife Bloodgood, as usual.
I'll be taking Abuna Lance this time.
For the first time, we will get Rao Nailbiter on screen, our soldier.
And I will be playing Rahel Kill Not a Creature, who is a rookie.
Excellent.
It's I don't know if you can do it. It's the Rahel.
Rahel?
Okay. Yeah.
Rahel. Sure.
There you go.
Quartermaster, you may add +1 dice to the engagement roll by spending a resource based on the mission type.
So this one requires religious supplies, which would give us all reliquaries.
It would. We don't have those, though. So I can't.
We don't?
We don't.
Oh, Oh, well, that's why this is the private.
All right. What load is everyone bringing?
Normal.
Normal.
Fuck.
I recommend normal or light if we're just going to be sneaking around a bunch.
Yeah. The problem for me, if I pick normal, is I have to choose between pistols and a rifle. This is probably not a rifle mission.
Probably not. A fine long rifle is loud, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have Kaio to support me. Shit. You guys worried about this one?
Rao is going to bring a fine wrecking kit, because it's an option, a fine shield, a pistol, and ammo.
Rahel is going normal load, bringing a cooking kit and fresh food, because she has the home cooking move, so we'll see. And then for utility is bringing a medic kit, just in case. I'm torn between, like, supplies, a climbing kit, or armor.
You're going underground. Climbing kit.
Climbing it is.
Yeah.
All right. Climbing and medic kit.
I mean,
this is just a mini
you're probably
domain.
going underground. You might show
We'll
up
see.
and then turn right around and leave. I don't know.
That's true.
We've done that before.
Yep.
Okay. Are all on the mission OATHSWORN to the Legion? Yes. Did the commander spend 1 intel to give us foresight and info?
Yes.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier? No. Does any Legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey the orders on the battlefield?
No.
Are any required specialists or equipment not on the mission? No. Did the quartermaster send religious supplies to war to protect Legionnaires? Unfortunately, we don't have any. And is any Legionnaire starting with Blight?
No.
Nope.
No, I don't think we've taken enough corruption for that. Okay, so we get 2 dice.
Okay.
Easy, just crit.
I've done it before. Come on, 2 3s. Here we go.
Hey!
That's
That's a 6. Excellent.
Been
I'd
phenomenal.
love to see it.
First of all, this is going to be a multiple day mission. It takes at least a day, probably a couple of days to march out there. This is sort of to the northwest of Sarpat. There's no active roads or anything like that that go here. It's not as far as the river, but it is getting up near there. The area around the tomb is a lot of stone buildings that are almost completely demolished. Like I think you had heard, this area dates back to the old empire. This area is at least 100 years old. It's hilly, I think. There's ample places to like take cover as you're approaching the space. It is not swarming with Never, but they have taken a firm control of the place. They seem to have... They seem to be pretty well spread throughout the entire area. In particular, a number of them seem to be amassed near the one building that's left standing. There's like a colonnade front that leads into sort of an enclosed space. It looks like it probably has an open roof. It has the look of like a temple or something like that, but no real like defining features, at least nothing that stands out after all this time. And the one place that the Never aren't, or at least they aren't milling around, is this enormous hole that you can see in the center. Just this big, big pit. It seems recently dug up, and there are Never there, but they're hacked and smashed to pieces. There are some Never milling around, but none of them seem to be like heading in or coming out. The Never, of course, don't really have a will of their own, so you imagine that they've probably just been commanded to stand back from the space rather than like standing away for any hesitation on their own part.
What side are we approaching from?
You tell me. Where do you think is the most interesting?
Well, probably Gavin tells you.
So this pit is like recently dug, or is this just like a thing here?
It is recently dug. You can see that like the turf there has been like torn up in the past week or so. Everything else is pretty well compact. Probably people haven't lived or worked here in a long time.
Okay. Because I think we've been hiding out for at least a day or two, just doing like a stakeout, getting like an idea of the what do they call it? The shifts?
Yeah, like movement patterns.
Yeah, movement patterns.
The patrols.
Patrols when they're working, when they're not, when they're most vulnerable, when they're least vulnerable.
I've added 2 clocks next to the map. There's Evade the Never, which I think is a 6-step clock, and Squad Discovered, which is an 8-step clock.
Who's leading the mission?
Lance.
I'm leading the mission.
So Lance is an officer, which means Lance is automatically assigned as squad captain.
Yeah. What do you think Lance's demeanor was like on the way here?
I think like the first day it was like very lackadaisical, talking to people, not really trying to stay in cover or anything. But then like after that, once he got to know everybody, it was very serious and like, okay, we're sticking to hand signals and whispering, moving only at night, etc., etc. No more campfires. I think I want to use these lenses and like, I guess I've already established that we kind of have a good idea of their patrols. Unless you want me to roll for that.
No, I think everything that is here, which includes the idol, you are familiar with where their activities are. She is spending most of her time inside this temple. I will put an icon there to indicate that.
Okay. Then I'd like to use these lenses and maybe try and identify what this temple is of.
Sure. That sounds like a roll of some kind.
I'd like to make it a research, like comparing it to notes from the annals
Yeah, I'm into that.
that I've gone over before going here.
Controlled standard.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I established this is a pretty darn worn down place and called out specifically that there's not a lot of identifying stuff. I think this is controlled limited.
Okay.
Could help increase effect there.
100%. Absolutely it can.
Rahel can help.
How do you help?
Because, like, the Grinning Ravens were on the all talk, no talk secondary mission last time, right?
Yeah, with Lance.
Yeah, so I think Rahel is just like, oh my god, an opportunity, like, probably thinks Lance is, like, the fucking coolest and is just, like, looking for an opportunity to be like, I'm also cool, I promise. So is, like, sees Lance is looking and then shows up and is like, if he, like, mutters anything to himself about, like, there's, or if he's jotting down notes about, like, features that he can make out. Rahel has the educated trait of the Mitzrayim, so it feels like can just sort of like confirm or like run some of that knowledge through what she knows. Great.
Well, it's controlled limited, so I'm going to move it to, because I'm taking a die from Rahel.
Sure.
So I'm going to make it risky standard by maybe getting a little too close.
Nice.
That's a 5.
2 to 5. Okay. You do the thing.
Okay. Mission done.
Yeah, you did it. Great. This top section is absolutely a temple or was a temple at some point, but this is really the entryway to what the main complex, which is almost entirely subterranean. The tomb is down there, but the tomb is almost an accessory to what is really down there, which is a forge. You see something that marks this as a place that was sacred to the god of craft. What do you think that is?
Is this a god we've talked about before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like a quenching pool, maybe?
What's a quenching pool?
Where you dunk hot metal into?
I don't know if it's called that, but like when you have a hot sword and then you dip it in water to like get it to cool down.
Or oil. It could be the oil from the quenching pool.
Mm-hmm. I like that kind of like synergy between like that usage plus what you would use sort of a font as a temple fixture.
Oh, like maybe there was a natural spring that the crafting god had created, and it bursts forth this oil that's really good for quenching.
Yeah, I like that.
Slack tub.
I don't like that word.
That's
better than quench.
Quenching pool sounds cooler than
Disagree. Quench tub is slack tub. That's where it is.
But it is a mixed success. I'm going to tick the squad discovered clock twice.
The only tick that matters is the last one.
So they say.
I just noticed Tomb of E.
Yeah, I think that's how. That's all you have in the annals of the Legion. There's an E somewhere in that name.
Yeah, for people who can't see this image, it says Tomb of underscore 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 E underscore underscore.
You could find out who that is. I think the god is named Aegon, Agon.
So this is not Aegon's tomb. This is someone else's tomb.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's only one dead god that we've seen.
Right.
The sky one.
The sky?
Well, Ravens, looks like we're heading into that pit.
Probably chorus of like, what do we even say? We don't go hoorah, right?
Oh, noise
really
feels
our
like a
vibe.
bad idea now.
Yeah, we're probably just like a salute or something.
Yeah, especially because we've been told to be quiet.
Since we're the Constant Legion, we do like a 4-part harmony.
Okay, I'd like to sneak, or I guess we wait till night necessarily isn't the time where they're most rowable, but I guess I'm just waiting for whenever they have the least patrols around.
Sure. Yeah. I think the vibe that you have gotten is that regardless of the number of Never Here, they don't seem to be particularly concerned about folks like you showing up. If anything, their vigilance is turned inward. They are watching this pit.
Do these never look like people? Are they like the ones from Loggerhead, or are they like other ones we've seen? Or have we not seen them at all?
Good question. I think these are pretty similar to the ones you saw at Loggerhead. There are Hexed, which look a lot like zombie townsfolk. They're probably folks from the surrounding Sarpat area that have just sort of been dragged into the Never service. But there are also a number of the feral, which you saw inside the sawmill. There are a lot of them. Most of the ones that seem to be sort of chewed up near the pit seem like they are feral, and then the ones that are closest at hand that are watching the pit now are also feral.
Oh, I'm sorry. I may have missed that. Yeah,
Chewed
chewed up.
up?
Sorry, what?
I mean, I don't know that some of them are like limbs hacked away. Some of them are like crushed.
What?
Something took put a hurting on these. Never, whatever it was.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay.
Gonna hope that's a mind collapse and not a terrible monster inside this pit.
I'm really
Sure.
I'm really regretting having watched The Mummy yesterday now.
Hell yeah.
Well, if the Never are afraid of it, maybe it's our friend.
Maybe.
Well, let's if we come up to a third party that is violent some way, you know Lance is gonna talk to it first.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do know that.
All right. Serious mode. Everyone, there's dirt on the ground. Pack it in. We're covering our scent with the dirt of this area.
Okay.
And then we're sneaking in the dead of night into that pit. Hopefully that'll keep the what are they called?
Feral?
The feral.
Feral. Yeah, that'll keep the feral from smelling us.
During all of this, Aoife she doesn't have the despaired harm anymore, but she's looking a little bit bummed. So she goes to talk to Rao to kind of like try to size them up, especially because she's missing her battle buddy Kaio. What is Rao's vibe?
So Rao is a Archadian. So specifically, if you type in the words forest bull into Google, you'll get a little Wikipedia article pop up. It's also described as the Ethiopian bull or the Ethiopian forest bull. And it's this like mythical creature. It's sort of like this reddish orangish skin, black hair, big like cool U curved horns. I'm going to post a picture in our Discord. And I think she basically looks like, what if this was like a big buff lady? I think her vibe is like a little mean to rookies, and a little bit like friendly to the superiors, but not in like a malicious way, but more in a like an older sibling kind of way.
Superiors as in like specialists?
Yeah, I mean, what we'd think of as like our captains, right?
Gotcha.
Earlier in my head was thinking of her as like a cool, mean lesbian I would like to be friends with.
Well, Aoife's getting her pistols loaded. She's got like a bandolier of black shot. This is kind of a different vibe than the previous missions. And she's kind of looking at Rao just to see how she is armed, just to know like what type of violence they can collaborate on.
So Rao has a pistol, but she's mostly, I think, moving a like hatchet back and forth in her hands, sort of tossing it back and forth a little bit nervously as she's prepping to go. If she sees Aoife like looking at her, she's gonna like do like a big grin and like twirl the hatchet in one hand.
Nice.
Oh, you get 2 additional utility for normal load as Rao.
Oh, in addition to what I have. Hell yeah, guess what? We're going to have another reliquary.
It looks like she can hang in the way that Kaio does, but maybe not in the way that Kaio can also do emotional support.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
Aoife doesn't actually like killing things, even though she is the most prone to violence that we've seen so far.
Give it time. It sounds like this is a group maneuver. Is that right?
Yeah.
I have a pitch.
Mm-hmm.
If I lead this group action and evoke my Lightfoot trait, which makes me fast and quiet in normal load, would that be able to give us potency on the action?
Before you make that decision, I have a ability. Whenever I lead a group action, I can improve scale up or down a level.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And it also counts multiple 6s as a critical in combat.
Oh, sweet.
So I can lead a group action to make us smaller. Maybe we all walk in the same line through the grass. That sort of thing.
One set of footprints.
And we all covered ourselves in dirt, right?
Yeah.
So is Lance not wearing his,
Wait a minute.
his clean fits?
Lance said use our dirt to cover our tracks, and then he turns around and Aoife is now covered in dirt.
No. Lance said cover yourselves in dirt.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, because they can smell it.
Okay.
So
that's fine. I think I just misheard it. I was like...
Mm-hmm.
So has Lance ruined his clean fits?
I think the cloak is packed. Like, he brought the cloak, but it's for something else.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Maneuver.
Rolling maneuver.
What's our position and effect on this?
Oh, yeah, good question. This is still controlled. This is controlled standard.
Cool.
Oof.
1 fail, 2 fails.
Ooh, I failed.
4.
1 success.
Oof.
1 success.
That was a series of oofs.
Wow.
We don't have a lot of maneuver, actually.
I'll take 3 stress.
Okay.
Well, we don't have a lot of scout either.
So Matthew got a 2, I got a 3 and a 1, Kris got a 4, and Gavin got a 3. Out of all those dice, only 1 success.
Okay, it's cool. It's fine. There is a success. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, mercy me.
You only need 1.
And it's the baby that
It's a
succeeded.
No one's quieter than a baby.
Famously silent babies.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm going to tick evade the never by 2.
Wait, I thought it was controlled.
Oh, you're right. It is
Oh, no,
controlled.
positive. Sorry.
Right.
That was the good clock. I mixed up the clocks. My bad.
Evade the never. Or I'll just rename it to get to the pit.
Yeah. Get in this pit. Open this pit up.
But I'm also going to tick squad discovered by 1.
What?
Lance, tell me about the ruin that you managed to get everyone to.
Well, I'm just imagining the blacksmith hut from Minecraft that you can find in Minecraft villages. It's the wood's probably rotted away by now, and it's just these huge furnaces.
Yeah, just like
and like stone
floor,
maybe
broken off stone chimney.
So maybe some like stone pillars that used to hold up the wood roof.
Mm-hmm. So I think as you draw closer to the pit, you can see that the feral, for all that they are not getting close to the pit, are still like up and snuffling the ground the way that like tracking dogs would. Remember, these things are like deeply driven by sensation. They are like running their limbs across surfaces. They are drawn to any flicker of motion or rustle of sound. And I think you can see that your natural camo has prevented getting discovered up until this point. It's probably not going to suffice to get you past the line of feral. What do y'all do?
Who's the best thrower on the team?
Thrower?
Yeah.
Probably not Aoife.
Kyle could throw real good.
Pretty sure Kyle missed the last time they tried, didn't they? Set a barn on fire.
The 3-pointer.
Footage not found.
Which action is the throw action?
I think we said shoot last time.
Well, it probably depends on the purpose of the throw, right?
Yeah.
What
you thinking?
If it's a throw for damage,
and the person too, because I have good shoot, but like I can't imagine Aoife picking up somebody and throwing them.
Right.
No, not picking up a person.
Here, get in the pit. I'm going to throw you over the never.
I've got a fine luxury item.
Oh, well then probably Aoife then is the best thrower.
Yeah, so
I have 2 in shoot.
If I brought like a bag of saffron.
Oh, absolutely.
And Aoife could like throw it Splinter Cell Tom Clancy style. And to distract the feral, and then there's a gap just big enough for us all to file in and drop down the pit.
It's like a chaff grenade for ferals.
Last time we used
a bunch of spices in a pouch.
It has worked in the past.
Yeah,
There's
true.
Probably a note about that.
Funny.
I've never read any Tom Clancy. Do they throw a lot of saffron?
No, this isn't the books. This is the video games.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
you throw a lot of glass bottles.
Sure.
Stealth game bullshit.
Yeah.
What would that be, Brendan? To have Aoife throw this bag of spices?
I think that would still be shoot, if I'm being honest.
Okay. This is actually pretty good. I have the ambush move, or the ambush ability that says when you attack from hiding or spring a trap, you get a +1
You're definitely
die.
hiding.
That applies here. And this is kind of a trap.
A lovely smelling trap.
Mm-hmm.
These feral are about to be delighted. Okay, this is risky standard.
Cool. And I have 3d6. Risky. I don't know if I want to spend any of my things here, though.
Do you want help?
I mean, 3 dice is pretty good.
This is
this
is a fine luxury item.
What's up?
Yeah,
I would bump this up to risky great.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, our dice bot owes us a success after that whole thing, so.
Footage not found.
All right, let's go.
Jeez.
1,
4,
and a 3. Spectacular.
Jeez.
Describe this throw for me.
What does the item look like?
I think it's a canvas bag full of saffron.
Like fist sized?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe smaller than that. Saffron's expensive.
Okay. I think Aoife takes some like random like twine or something out of her coat and ties it to the end of the bag to turn it into sort of like a tether. And she starts to like spin it into the air and let's go. And it like flings into the crowd of ferals.
Yeah. A bunch of them, like a third of them, like notice it before it hits the ground and like collide with one another, stampeding, literally like somersaulting over one another, trying to like drive their entire body into this thing. You can slip through the gap, but it is a mixed success. I think someone's gonna trip. Someone's gonna trip and make a noise as they hit the ground. Roll a dice. Rao, what happens that trips you up here?
I think that even though Rao is normal, she's got both a wrecking kit and like a pistol and a reliquary and a fine shield and a whole bunch of stuff. And I think that there's like some leftover bits of rock or like bits of wall probably, that like maybe the fine shield, which is like strapped to her side, catches on something. And by the time she knows, she sort of like twists and like lands hard against the wall.
You can resist this. Anyone could resist this.
I'll resist it. Is it probably a prowess resist?
Well, this only ticks the getting notice.
No, this isn't going to take getting noticed. This is going to put you in a desperate position.
Oh, yeah. Then please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Prowess resist. I don't think I get any benefits for that. Just double checking. Grit is all about resistance rolls, so I could use 1 to get a 2d, plus 2d to the resistance roll. I don't need that. I don't have any stress right now. Okay, 3 dice. Roll 3d6. Resist.
That's 5.
All right, 1 stress.
Hey.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
You catch yourself.
Yeah. I think she extends one hand, like grabs the wall, the other hand grabs the shield, and she like glances to make sure that like nobody saw that, and then like very quietly and carefully pulls back from the wall and pulls the shield over it.
Awesome.
Aoife saw it and grins, but like gives you a hand in support.
Nice.
Lance doesn't acknowledge that he saw, but he saw. Everyone saw.
All right, Lance.
Did everyone see?
Okay, that got you to the pit. It added 3 more ticks to the clock. You have 1 more tick. You need to get down this pit before they never spot you.
Rahel has a climbing
Nice.
kit. Just like as we're like hustling to the pit, is just like pulling out this thing of rope and is also trying not to drop shit. I don't think Rahel saw Rao like almost fall because it's just like focused on, okay, I also need to not drop things. It's very important.
Are you going to try and...
Where?
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, where are we at in terms of like attention being drawn to us?
You are at 5 out of 8.
Because like I'm just wondering if I started shooting things that were like approaching us.
That would put you at 8 out of 8.
Yeah, please do not.
And a fight would start.
That's what I was checking. I was checking
Yep.
where we were at in terms
Yep.
of attention.
If you show me the barrel of a gun, I will pull out several more guns.
Yeah,
That's the quote.
So yeah, climbing kit.
Yeah. Is this a rig to like get this affixed so everyone can climb down?
That works. I have one in rig, unless someone else wants to take it.
I could help.
Sure.
Yeah.
I would accept that help.
Handshake.
We've already established that Aoife's good at ropes and stuff like that from
Yeah,
days.
and I think
days sailing.
Rahel's like hands are shaking kind of because like this is a lot of never in very close proximity.
Also her whole thing is that she climbs trees. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love the idea of Rahel is like trying to, it's just like, okay, have rope, have the, gotta tie it to a thing, but like hands are slightly shaking, and then Aoife just comes along just like this, and then just like a whiz just ties off some stuff, and it's just like, okay, let's go.
I show you like an Oileander knot that you've never seen before.
Remember your training.
Yeah.
All right.
Risky
Risky standard.
So, risky standard. And let's see, I have 1 in rig. I'll take 2 dice in that.
There we
That's
go.
a 5.
That's 5.
I only saw the 1 at first. I was having a heart attack.
There's been a lot of fucking ones already today.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a 6 since the engagement roll.
I think what happens here is you're going to do it, but you're going to get hurt somehow.
Like land weird and roll an ankle.
Yeah. Do you like...
Or get rope burn on your hands.
I like landing weird. Like just in the excitement of like, okay, I did it. Just like taking a tumble as you like descend the rope.
Yeah. Can it be just that like everyone's just like going down this rope and is just like shoo 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 like so fast, so cool, and Rahel's just like yes, and then just goes and like too fast, bam, just like lands too hard.
Oathsworn is an actual play podcast created by
Devin Nelson,
Gavin Fregeau,
Kris Allison,
Matthew Guzdial,
and me, Brendan McLeod. All music for the show is created by Devin Nelson. Find it and more at devindecibel.bandcamp.com. Find a link to their music and any of the games that we've played in the podcast description. Follow us at Oathsworn Pod on Twitter or Oathsworn on co-host. Until next time.